Yo, while we got my boy Hev here, which is crazy, my boy D is up next with D's Controversy Corner, and his topic today has something to do with what you do. Hev is kind of your niche. Hey D, man, I'm gonna lead you right to it, man, and let everybody know what's the topic in D's Controversy Corner this week.
As I'm sure, Heavy, as you know, as you see on social media all the time, there's a lot of discourse within the barber industry whether enhancements are necessary or not, whether you should use them, whether you should spend your money and invest on them or not. So my question for you is, I got two. One, what is your thought on the direction that the industry has gone as far as how many barbers are using enhancements, how many barbers are, spraying or maybe actually using a brush to paint it on? And another question that I have for you is, what would you tell the barbers who don't see the point of the investment of spending money on enhancements, or don't see the point as far as, I don't see how this could make my haircut look better, because they haven't used it? What would you tell those barbers?
All right. First of all, let's talk about the direction of color, right?
Talk
When
to him,
you
Heavy.
talk about direction, we'll have to go all the way back to the Egyptian days, because even in the hieroglyphics, you'll notice that the Egyptians used the plant dye root to enhance all those features for two reasons. One, it made them look younger, and two, as they moved through common towns, they were immediately identified as royalty and not to be handled with, right? And so as you fast forward through that time and space where man originated, and you fast forward to today, let's look at what enhancements has evolved through, even from that time where we talk about brands like Beijing, we talk about permanent dye. The word enhancement has been kind of kicked around like a redheaded stepchild, for real. The word enhancement can literally be used in every statistical category of the cosmetology industry. When I apply, microblading to my eyebrows, that's enhancement. Yeah. When I add color and streaks to my hair, that's enhancing the look. Lip injections, Botox,
gel,
and
gel enhances the look, right?
Yeah.
And so when we talk about enhancing the clients today, there's been an evolution, and the evolution has created a consistent approach to how we apply color. You know, as I started to develop this brand, I realized that there was two issues. One, there was no process. Two, there was no system. Three, there was no warranty. And four, everybody's just trying to piece it together based on what you're learning in real time from the guy to your left and right. But the black community has always been at the forefront of color. We've been using color for decades. And so when the evolution takes place, where now we're using a semi-permanent color to enhance those lines, it just adds to the benefit of the clock speed, it adds to the service quality, it adds to the durability, long-lasting look, and then finally the consistency of having the tools necessary to apply it day in, day out, and understand the preventative maintenance and the weekly maintenance that it takes to maintain the equipment. And so, there's barbers that don't use color, and you can make a living without using color. But the reason you want to learn color, just like I wanted to learn hair units, I don't need a hair unit, but I want to be able to service my clients even once a month that require a unit. And so while I'll never put a unit on me, that education now makes me enough money to pay my mortgage every month. The education of being able to do a hot towel facial shave, or apply a black mask peel, or apply hard wax to the nose and ears in the beginning of the appointment and then pop them out with another $5 out of his pocket at the end of the appointment, or know how to introduce products in the beginning during the consultation, and not to buy it, but to try multiple different fragrances, although they carry the same non-comedogenic properties, and I'm educating them on how to preserve hair and hairline with water-based soluble products, whether we're laying waves, curl sponge, pompadour, comb over. I'm educating him in real time during the consultation that allows him to not only pick one, but at the end ask me how much it costs, and now I spike the ticket $20 because I understand that passing that product allows me to, even if I cut 10 clients a day and sold three clients, if I sold three clients a can of pomade at $20 a piece, that's $60 a day. Times that by how many days a month you work, and I just spiked the ticket an extra $1,000 by passing it. I'm not asking you to learn enhancement for the sake of liking it. I'm asking you to understand it so that we service another side of the community where there's a need. Listen to me, there's two conversations in this industry, right? There's the conversation of Who's the cheapest client? Are white people cheap or black people cheap? And it has nothing to do with color. It's all based on frequency. If a white guy wakes up every 8 months and gets a haircut, he's gonna tip $20 just because he understands the job he's bringing. But the guy who pays $50 a week and has to factor that into his budget has no opportunity to tip. That's like calling Verizon and saying, yo, the 5G was great this month. Tell him I'm gonna add an extra $10. No way, never. Any residual bill that you have every month, there's no way you tipping. I'm already at $50 a week. We have clients that are hitting the chair every 7 to 10 days and will ask you for a cleanup. Right? And so the argument is frequency. And who has the highest frequency in this industry besides black and brown people? I'll wait.
Tank, I know Tank, I know you be using them enhancements, man.
Yes, sir. I use them on certain clients. I know my clientele base, and I know which ones want the enhancements and which ones don't, right? And I'll even offer it to the clients who I feel may benefit from it, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason, whether I know they're going out or maybe they may be, balding a little bit, maybe receding a little bit. I try to add it to them, and I give them the option. If they don't want to use it, cool. But if they want to, we're going to do this. But a lot of my first-time coming clients, I'll try to push it onto them because I know that they're gonna like it once they actually get it. A lot of times they don't get it. They go to these shops where they're in and out real quick, but they find me on social media, and this is why they want to come to me, because they see these pictures and these videos on Instagram. And those pictures and videos.
And Ed, let's be honest with each other. The client doesn't know the scope of your range as a service professional until you introduce it. And I introduce everything for free. Ask any crackhead how much he paid for the first hit.
Yeah, same thing, man. Like I don't charge extra for the enhancements. It's something that is included in my service, right? But I did want to touch on something that I remember one year I was giving a class at a barber expo, and I was putting enhancements on my client, and someone raised their hand, and it's gonna be kind of controversial because I seen what's my man's name? He's over there by you, Prince, Codis.
Right.
I seen Codis put this talking about
Codis.
people are talking about enhancements are makeup, but that it was a bad mistake. They're saying that. But I'm gonna touch on that, but a little different. And let me explain. So I was on stage spraying enhancements on my client, and a female raised her hand and she's like, "Why are you spraying enhancements on your client?" She's like, "The haircut already looks good." She goes, "Why? Yeah, it does look better, but why are you gonna spray that if it's gonna wash out in one day?" And my response to her was, "Do you go and get your makeup done and do you pay?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Why if you're gonna wash it out in one day?"
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's how you gotta look at it. Yo, listen, I think that even a barber that thinks that people look stupid with it, whatever, if you're a barber, I think you should still learn how to do it. I think you should still know how to do it, even if you think people look foolish with it, because you are a barber. Barbers, another thing is, man, that it gets a bad rep because you don't learn how to apply it correctly.
Properly,
you have to apply enhancements correctly, bro. Y'all just spraying stuff on. You're not even, a lot of guys ain't even, another thing is, learn how to give a miraculous haircut before you learn how to do
That's what I was
enhancements.
just about to say.
Because they're gonna wipe it off and it's gonna look shitty under, and then you give enhancements a bad name. Like all these little things give enhancements a bad name. But when you learn how to apply it correctly, and not to gas up the man of the hour, but this man knows what he's doing, he got a great product and he's very educated on it. Go to one of heavy enhancements educational seminars and listen to the man speak and learn how to apply it for real. Because that's the only reason why it gets a bad rap, because y'all don't learn how to apply it correctly.
That's a fact.
So D, so I know this was your question, so we want to know what you got to say about enhancements.
So I use enhancements on a regular basis. I use enhancements every day. I just started using heavies enhancements like 2 months ago. And it's a different reaction from giving a client a good cut. I know for a fact I can cut hair. I'm very confident in my haircuts. But once you throw enhancements on it, regardless of what anybody says about it, enhancements on top of a good haircut turns it to a great haircut, regardless. The problem is that a lot of barbers, this is the thing that I think a lot of the so-called OG barbers or whatever y'all want to call it, this is the problem that I believe they have. I believe that they think that a lot of barbers use enhancements to cover up bad haircuts and half-ass a haircut. And since you know you're going to use enhancements, I know for a fact a lot of barbers do this because I have done this. I can admit it, that I've used it, knowing that I'm about to use enhancements. I'm like, all right, well, I ain't going to, the cut ain't going to be a 10. It's going to be a 7. The enhancement's going to make it a 10. Instead of trying to make it a 10 right away. I've done it. Every barber who have used enhancements have done it. So I think that's the problem a lot of barbers have with it, and a lot of barbers won't admit that they've done that because they're ashamed of it.
For sure.
Because they probably still do it. So I think enhancements are great. Enhancements are essential if you want to take your haircuts to the next level.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to enhance, Yo, that was a beautiful segment right there. Yo, man, thanks for your information. We appreciate you for